Like, this is what I look like, you guys. This is all I got. I'm grateful. This little piece, baby, I could do something with that, baby. You can handle that. It ain't, all over my lap, damn legs or nothing. My Gucci's right there, you know. So, and that is because the weight loss has been kind of done real like strategic with nutrition. So what you do is you still, you use your medicine or whatever, you get your surgery or whatever, but what you do is you be real intentional about when you take in your nutrition. When you take it in, what you're taking in, why you're taking it in all matters, right? Because what happens is if we don't have the right intention of why we're eating, we'll end up only eating food that tastes good. And healthy food doesn't always have the best flavor. Healthy food can actually just taste healthy. And so what happens is we get kind of addicted to needing this kind of high salt, high sugar desire to hit our tongue in order for us to feel like we've had a meal. But that's the delusional misconception that comes when the behavior and the food has more of a meaning about how you feel about it versus how you fuel about it. Does that make sense? Thank you so much, babe. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you, Miss Toya. Thank you. So does that concept, you understand that concept right there? So it's really about when. So if you're noticing like a plateau for Transformation Tuesday tip, what you want to do is first do an assessment. Anytime you feeling like something's not going on with your weight, like this one, don't just stop. Assess the situation. Toya, thank you. Assess the situation, okay? You gotta pull back. Don't just stop. You gotta pull back because it could be something small. Because what some of us forget, I'll give you an example. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I'll give you an example. Check this example out. My girlfriend, I was at a meeting. My girlfriend was talking about how she called her doctor and told her doctor the pain medicine wasn't working. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's not a good doctor because her pain isn't getting better. So I said, well, friend, can I ask you a question? She said, yeah, what's up? Hi, day off. She said, yeah, what is it? I said, did you tell the doctor that you and your husband are living in separate houses? You're really stressed out. You don't really have anybody to take care of you? And she was like, no. I said, well, did you tell him you're having a hard time sleeping and eating because you're so stressed out about your circumstances at home with your husband and your house and your family? She said, no. I said, so you didn't tell the doctor anything about all the mental stuff you got going on? Don't you? She said, why would I do that? If you got what I just said, tap the like button. Go crazy in the tap. Go crazy on the taps. If you just understood what I said, go crazy on the taps. It was a mouthful. I need you to catch it. She called the doctor and told the doctor that the pain medicine's not working. She just had knee surgery and it's not working, the pain medicine. So she was telling him all the things going on with her knee. It was stiff, it was locked up, she could barely move it. She failed to tell him about her living environment and the level of stress and lack of sleep and eating she was experiencing. She missed that. When are we gonna understand? Let me hold your hand, get your hand. That's why I needed you to tap the like button, because if you're not tapping the like button and I tapping the like button is like holding your hand, because what I'm about to say next, some of y'all might get mad at me. But don't you know your stress? Yep, Miss Toya. Don't you know your stress level will have your pain increased, and no medicine will work because you're not in physical pain, you in mental pain. That's why people end up drinking and taking their pain medicine because they're trying to numb both pains. The physical pain will cut on emotional pain. It lowers your threshold. Yeah, you do know that, right? You do know if you live with chronic pain, if you're not careful, you'll think you won't know it, but you'll walk around real snappy at people. Because what's happened is you got used to being in pain, but your body hasn't. So what it does is it'll come out in spouts of anger, but you don't realize you're doing it because you're used to it. That's how them people get that message. She's just like that. Hi, Miss Soul Digital. Welcome in. Pain is powerful. Thank you. You cannot ignore pain. If you are on a wellness journey and you have chronic pain, it's not sucking it up and do it anyway. It's finding a way to calm the pain down because it heightens your cravings, your emotional regularity, your stress level, your cortisol level, and your fight or flight mode. Because one thing I've learned, and two things for certain, if I continue to live the way I was live, worried about people, places, and things, and never worried enough about me, I was going to be in the grave and all of them were still going to be living. I stayed worried out, stressed out, worried about doing something for somebody else and never enough for me to get to 600 pounds to where I'm untreated, unhealed from all childhood trauma that I would sit around and eat myself to that. Ain't no excuse for that, child. I don't care what autoimmune disease I got. My hand was picking up that food going to my mouth, boo. I'm going to stand in my truth. I can't feel a sense of relief pain if I'm emotionally in anguish. It feels like physical pain. That's why sometimes when you hear about something bad happening, if you have like back problems, your back will feel tight. That's because you're packing your that's one of your stress zones. So what happens is because we don't think about stress being as irrelevant as it is in our everyday life, we'll go take and medicate things that we can simply get rid of by taking a deep breath and mind our own business. We'll be getting migraines over somebody else's situation. We getting whole migraine headaches and had to go get migraine prescription. Something we never had to do over somebody else's situation. And all we got to do is stop meddling, mind our business, and talk with Jesus. Some of our actual weight gain is from other people's problems, not our own. We eating over our children's bad marriages. We eating over them dropping out of school, not getting good grades. We eating over them talking back and talking crazy. We over eating over them kids, and them kids ain't been most of us, but they got us so stressed out. We emotionally eating, can't sleep. Yeah, yeah. And it's mostly because we think we little mini Jesuses. I used to have that disease. Hi, Mr. Right, Mrs. Right, Mr. Right, Misha. Hi, Misha. You understand what I just said? That's because most of us think we have some special healing power to fix, control, and change the people in our lives because they're our blood relatives. We think no matter how much trouble our son gets into, we can magically wave a wand and fix it because we have magical powers from the God above. And although we praying, we can't control other people's actions. And that's the moral to this story today. The real transforming is willingness in action. And many of us have an overindulgence amount of willingness for other people but not for ourselves. We will outservice the community and our own home will be falling apart. We'll over volunteer at church, over commit, overdo, oversee, over be willing for everybody else. And the doctor tells you to get up and walk every day down the hallway and you won't walk one day. But the lady down the street needs you to take her to work every morning and you getting up at 7 o'clock taking somebody to work because she ain't got no other way. But you couldn't get up and walk for yourself. This be sometimes some nights when I'm on here, it's like church, Lanisha. It be one or two of the people that gonna tell their truth, so they drop a gift or tap the like button. But sometimes I'm gonna be on here, hi baby, how you doing? It be like church. Nobody's tapping the like button, but I can see them all watching, right? They all can hear me talking the talk, but they don't want to tap the like button because they think it include them. So every now and then I tap the like button because it includes me. I can only talk about it because I've experienced it. I can only tell you how my mind would tell me if one of my friends called me with a situation because I worked in the field. I felt like I can pull enough strings to fix their situation personally, like I had the powers that be. And so I would get caught up doing extra work, driving somewhere I ain't all night long, driving to another, all trying to help somebody else while I'm supposed to be at home cooking, taking care of my own family. Ain't nobody in my family got no dinner, no meal or nothing because I'm out in these creeks trying to save Captain BB. Nobody can relate. Y'all want me to just do the reading? Y'all want me to just do the reading? So I was just trying to talk about how, we got this misconception. Hi, baby. How are you, Mocha? We have a little bit of a misconception about this transformation thing. We think it's to this set destination, but what we want to do is be transforming, which is always in action. The theme today is, are you in action? The call to action is, are you going to get into action? And if you're not into any form of action, when? When are you getting into action? And if you don't know when, why you ain't into action? See, I have questions because many of us have had the same goal for the last 5 years, and here we are rolling into the end of the Ember months. I'm doing wonderful. I've got almost all the plan done, but of course, I had 2 phone calls, so ended up doing 2 intakes. See, the thing is, Jay, see, that poem posted me in the orange dress. I forgot that I posted it outside of our group already. So I'm trying to make, I only had 5 slots. So I'm here scrounging around. I know you know. But I got it. We gonna do it. Transforming is action. It's willingness and action. Because what happens is, say for example, I'm on a journey. Something happens while I'm on the journey. Then I need to be prepared to transition, to transform from where I'm at to the next position in order to continue where I'm going. If I'm not willing to transition in the middle of transforming at every plateau, at every stick back, at every kickback, at every bump, I'm going to get stuck longer than I should, and then I'm going to keep quitting on myself from frustration, from feeling like I have no avenue. But if I'm always doing one thing, this is my theory. This behavioral theory has worked with hundreds of thousands of women. There's women in these lives right now that can tell you this theory is working for them. When you commit to one thing in your health and wellness and understand that wellness and weight loss are 2 different things. Come on now. Now let me educate the size 5 fitness model that wants to work with women and help them lose 100 pounds. Baby, weight loss and wellness are 2 different things. You can take her in the gym and help her do calorie in and calorie out, and she may very well lose 300 pounds in 6 months, and she may very well look great. But if you do not engage her mindset into the fact that there's an issue with the food and that needs to be addressed, the minute you no longer watching, the food will begin to watch her again. This is not something I'm creating or making up. This is something I can stand on facts about because it happened in my own life. It doesn't matter how much you teach me how to work out, go to the gym, or any of that. When enough stress happens, my coping skill is to chew, taste, and emaciate. It's not always about what I'm eating. It's the fact that I'm chewing, which is why I can sit around and eat cups and cups of ice, because I'm also addicted to chewing. It's not just that I like sweets. It's not just that I'm a sweet eater. I like to eat sweets, or I'm a stress eater. It's not just I'm an emotional eater. I also get calmness from chewing. When my mouth and my teeth grind, emaciate food down, there's a calmness that comes over my body that can be directly linked back to me as a small child and an infant and a preemie, because I always had a bottle in my mouth. I was a whiny baby, apparently. More to the story is I was taught early on that my emotions could be calmed by the cessation of sucking or chewing. So for many years, I had to go to sleep with a piece of candy in my mouth. I just thought I liked candy. I would have it by the bed and eat a piece before I went to sleep. I didn't realize that I was doing something that meant something from something. But this is what we discover in the work. Tap the like button if that sounds even. I be sometimes too deep. Let me stay in my lane. September 30th, you guys. We just finished. Ma, how are you, boo? Doric, how are you? Okay, listen. We done made it out of September. Now, I don't know what this next Ember month's going to bring. But what I want to say is I pray that it brings you nothing but physical, mental, and emotional abundance. Physical, mental, and emotional abundance. And if you haven't joined my 100 and 100 challenge, I'm going to urge you to join that. Especially if you're an older woman who lives alone, your kids are grown, you want something to focus on and stay busy with over the holidays. Oh, we got a good challenge for you. And the goal is 10 pounds. You got 100 days to lose 10 pounds. You can't beat that. Baby, you can lose 10 pounds 3 times in 100 days. Just so you know. All right. It says September 30th says, you're a healer. The healing you give to the world can happen as gracefully and naturally as the pine trees touch and heal with their life. Their presence arouses your senses. They fill you up with their fragrance. Their presence changes your energy, calms your fears, and lets you know all is well. Know you can stand tall joyfully, be who you are, and grow where you are. You have the ability to touch those around you in a way that heals them without hurting or draining them or draining you. One of your gifts to yourself and to the world is that of a healer. You don't have to force it. Strive to make it happen. It happens gently and naturally. When you look and accept who you are, open to your healing powers, your ability to heal yourself, those around you, receive this gift with joy, share it freely with all you meet, open to your healing powers, and you will cherish your past, all you have gone through and done. Who you are is love. What love does is heal. Who you are, I felt that, is love. Hey, Shug, baby. Who you are is love. What love does is heal. Did you catch that? That's so profound. Who you are, you and me, who we are is love. What does love do? It heals. Meaning we alone by ourselves, we don't need a special power to heal. We have the ability to heal. Sometimes it's like, sometimes you read something and it sends this sense of, is that what that is? Over your body. You know, it sends this sense of, I'm not so far away from the mark after all. You know, have you ever felt like that? Like I'm not that far from the mark. You know, that's how I feel. Like I'm not that far from the mark. I'm close to it. I don't have to feel like where is God? Where is God? Why can't he see me? He sees me. I'm close to the mark. Every day show up and you close to the mark. This is so profound. It gives you hope and peace. Yep. It's like, because what that says is, if I love myself, then in loving just myself, I get a sense of healing too. And I think that part right there is the kind of taboo, because we're not taught to love and sacrifice ourselves for ourselves. We're taught to love and sacrifice ourselves for others, and from that, people will accolade us and we'll get noticed. Hey, Nay, do you understand? So we aren't taught to love ourselves. We're taught to care for and love each other out loud and in abundance. And other people will see that. And then because of that, they will believe we are this great person, never negating the fact that we're getting neglected. Only that I'm fully in service mode. But what about service to thyself? If it says you are love and love is to heal, you're telling me that I never get to heal. No. Wait. Who you are is love. What love does is heal. Because when you're unhealed, it's difficult to give love and get love. And if you're supposed to be this representation of love and you don't have any of it, then people don't see that version of you. So that version never gets validated. The version that's this false sense of self gets validated. I'm gonna leave that one alone, Alexandria. Baby, I'm gonna leave that one alone. This getting heavy in here. I'm supposed to only be on for 15 minutes. Hear that? Because what's one of the things that when things don't go the way that we thought they would, we blame self. We guilt self, we shame self, we blame self. Yeah. And so if self is filled with a bunch of micro unhealed emotions, so if self is filled with some unhealed micro emotions that never got an opportunity to be healed, and we can understand that in love there's healing, but we don't get to possess that inner love where healing comes from, that it means many of us, it's not that we're functioning from bad spaces, it's that we're functioning from spaces of unhealing. So it's why it's difficult for people to love us and to recognize love, because we're used to this feeling of incompletion. Okay, hold on. So this is why I can't get that mindset belief about. So this is why if I gain 100 pounds, I don't believe I can lose it. I don't believe it's possible. The reason why, because my mindset and my body and the way I feel, everything tells me visually in my eyes I've already failed. I can't see the possibility or the option because everything looks bleak. When I look down, it doesn't look good. When I look around, it doesn't look good. So my circumstances is telling me that I don't have time to focus on any form of healing, any form of self, any form of love, because there's no validation in that, because we're altruistic people, right? We want to be validated, we want to be seen, we want to be heard. So I'm not really going to spend a lot of time on this thing that makes me grow inside, because it's too much it's hard work, right? It's hard work because it may mean I may have to accept the truth about people around me. Wait a minute, come on, coach. Because if I'm healed, then some of the things that people get away with, they won't be able to have the same success because I won't be presented as the same person, meaning you'll have to deal with me differently. This is why sometimes it feels like people don't want you to get better, because that means you're different. So that means anything you're doing in your sick state that you might not do in your well state, I'm in fear of you not being able to do that same thing well. So my desire is that for you to get well, but it ain't for you to really get well, because then where does that leave me? Altruism. I want to be seen. If you get better, who do I take care of now? If that's how I validate, if that's how I get seen. Because standing in my own skin doesn't validate me because I haven't been taught that. Believing in my own self. See, this is why some of us can believe in somebody else's dream and not our own. This is why you can go to every event with your best friend, and the idea that your best friend become a millionaire on was yours, and you can't even get a house because you loyal. Because you the loyalty, there's a this so some of us are still living in pathways of some of our trauma. So there's certain things that feel healing to us, like when it feels like we're saving someone else or helping them become something more. It gives this very weird validation to our past. And so what ends up happening is it feels like that even though somebody took something from me, I'm encouraging somebody else to seek something bigger than themselves. So I'm giving back, right? Even if that means I may not follow my dream, I'm making sure your dream is happening. So I'll get validation in that pathway of support. But if you told me, listen, I don't want you to support me no more, you got to go on and do your own. You may say to me, I don't want to do all that work. I just want to go to work every day and do like normal people. And that starts in there, because that may tell us something about our, not our abilities, because we're capable, but about our belief systems toward our abilities. Because again, remember the story started with me saying the lady getting up every morning, taking her friend to work 30 minutes away from where they live at and driving back, which is an hour in the morning, but she couldn't get up and walk up and down the hallway or the street. You see? So what I'm trying to point out is the desire behind our actions get weird based on things that have happened to us. It's about to get deeper, and I'm gonna do the reading. I gotta go, gotta get back to work. What if I told you if you were a child that felt neglected or abandoned, this is something that fills that hole for you. So it's you not only need to do this to feel validated, but you gotta do it. Or you feel like nothing, your life is not valued. Did you understand what I just said? Like you have to insert yourself in helping other people, or you don't know what to do. Like you find people to help. You go find people to help. Never the fact that you swollen, laid up, propped up in pain, struggling, can't sleep at night, need all kind of stuff for yourself. You gonna make sure you go help Passy though. Some of y'all go clean up people's house and your house is dirty. You go sit in the emergency room all day and night with somebody, but won't check yourself and know your blood pressure's through the roof. There's no validation in you getting help. Our personality see it as pity. Who helps you though? Oh, Suge, I was going on that next one. Suge, you get me in trouble. Suge, you get in here every night and it turns into a sermon. You're going to start having to stay in the lobby for the first 20 minutes. You're going to only be able to come in when it's time to read. Oh, I already did read. We did the reading. The reading was so deep. It's how we got where we are. Yeah. So what ends up happening is time after time, in order to feel a part of everything, we have to keep over showing up. Do you understand what I just said? You train the person around you to get used to you fixing and saving and doing and being, so they have no reason, no desire to do what you will do. See, if you set the tone to be mini Jesus, then when the disciples can't part the Red Sea, you can't be mad. None of y'all gonna catch that one because we outside tonight, Suge. See, it is your fault, Suge. Yep. Y'all in the 100 and 100 challenge, y'all. We only got 12 women. We still gonna come in here and do our thug thistle. Don't worry about it. We still gonna get snatched jack back. But I really would like to reach the goal of 1,000 pounds release. Yep, I said it. Some of y'all mini Jesus and mad y'all disciples won't do what y'all say. Y'all out here inserting y'allself in people's stuff. Somebody call you and she'll tell you, I'm going to pray about it. And you will give her immediately a solution of what to do. The girl said she was going to pray about it. She ain't praying to you. I'm telling you, I had these diseases now. It's hard to break them too. Because what happens is if you're not helping somebody do something, you feel like your life is boring. But what you realize when you stop doing it is that you was just engulfing yourself in other people's chaos, running from friend situation to friend situation. You didn't even ask for help and you helping me. Suge said, I ain't even asked for help, coach, and you helping me. Because we can't see it because it's taught to us. Remember, this is generational. Okay, let's talk about it, Suge. Remember, it's a three-pronged approach. We didn't just wake up obese, okay? We didn't just wake up with this thing happening in our mind and our bodies. There was these years of situations, circumstances, and stories that we were taught, told, and experienced that shaped how we dealt with certain emotions, leaving us kind of emotionally raw. We're kind of like these emotionally preemies, these preemies, like emotional preemies. That's what I would call us. Because what happens is many people think they're functioning in the capacity of an adult and in the capacity of God. But if you go back, if you go back to look at the Bible, a lot of things when people behave and they say they do it to God, God don't move like that. God was not crazy. He was real chill, real laid back. We be out here screaming and hollering at folks, trying to get them to do and be what we want them to be. We want to fight them and threaten their life to get them to act right. And we don't even realize God don't even move. Like talking about some God told me God that does not send you to scream, holler, and threaten nobody. Because he don't move like that. I've been reading the Bible, y'all. Remember, I've been reading the Bible. So the more Bible I read, the more I'm getting more dangerous because I'm starting to understand them scriptures. See what happens? I had a couple croaks, and them croaks made it difficult for me to comprehend, like when the language is not straight out. So I have to read something over and over and over. But I'm determined to have an experience in this old book here thing. So I've been really giving it the best that I got. Now, sometimes I do got to read a chapter or two, three, four, maybe five times. But what I'm saying, I come away with what knowledge I need from it. More to the story is this here, there. I'm learning that these things that I thought were myths pulled out of my head are actually scripture based already. I just didn't know where it was in the Bible. Because I've been hollering for 11 years to my clients, I need you to do a little bit, and then you'll get a lot. They'll be like, Coach, when is it going to happen? I say, do a little bit, and then it'll be a lot. I promise you, do a little bit. And guess what? That's a scripture. I ain't know, y'all. I ain't going to lie. See, I ain't going to get on her and lie, act like I'm holding it down. I don't know. I'm barely hanging on to my spot in heaven. Because every day I'm trying to wonder what's going on in the world. I'm asking God, should we even have a separation right now the way things is going on down here? What we down here for? You just need to come get everybody, the food places, the raggedy animals, the best up farms, that's feeding us out. Just bring it all upstairs. It's all bad. I mean, everybody. Don't leave nobody down here. And then when you get us all up there, make everybody black. Don't leave nobody. Nobody gets to be light skinned. Everybody's black so they can experience it. You see what I'm saying? Bring us all up there and make us all black. But make all the stores and the business owners you take up there, make them all white. Yep, I said it. I said it out loud too. I'm being funny. I'm being funny. You guys, I'm being funny. Relax. Don't relax. It's gonna be okay. I'm being funny. But at the same sense, I'm trying to show you something. What did I talk to you about yesterday? What's the one thing we got in common? We sitting around here looking at the differences, and what did I tell you we haven't? What did I tell you yesterday? We talked about it at great length. I said we focus on what makes us different when really the one thing that makes us the same is the thing that can heal us. Pain. We talked about it. I told you I don't care what color you are, where you live, where you go at, if you're going, what your religion is, how much money you make. I didn't care if you had one eye, three eyes, two eyes. I didn't care if you had both female sex both parts of sexes are one. Remember, I said it didn't matter because at the end of the day, even the animals can feel pain. Do you remember we talked about that? And I went on to say if we remove the color of every person at the end of the day, we would only have experiences. And if we sat in the room and cut the light off and began to share experiences, they would be similar. So I said we don't need to look at what doesn't make us like everybody else. We find out what makes us like everybody else so we can understand where we heal and grow to become what makes us unlike everybody else. I can't say I want to be more consistent and never do anything that equals a behavioral change in consistency. I can't say I want to grow in my relationship with God and the only thing I'm willing to do is go to prayer when everyone else is praying. I have to be willing to put some energy into it outside of what everyone else is doing. That means if I'm working out, if I'm your coach and we work out together, you realize that I go work out for my own journey. I don't rely on you showing up on my journey for me. You understand? I've also told you that we get buddies, but we don't let buddies become our barriers. If our buddy doesn't want to go walk, but we agree to walk every day, we go walk on our own because we was born by ourselves. You shall die. Get up there in the gates by yourself. Therefore, if there becomes a situation where it becomes between you being a better version of you and them staying at home because they don't feel like it, you get your butt up and you go anyway because we do a little bit here so that God can give us a lot. You say we're going to go work out and you don't show up. Guess what? Don't worry about calling me and asking me where I'm at. I'm already working out. I probably won't hear my phone. I don't play about it. You say we working out, I've already planned it. I set my stuff up the night before so I can have no excuse. Do you understand me? I open the floodgate of myself being successful so the enemy has limited room to be in my way. I'm not willing to have the excuse, well, I was tired, get up anyway. Because if it was something I wanted to do, I would get up. See, let me talk to you about this thing called pressure. In the 100 and 100, we're going to talk a lot about this thing. It's series. I'm doing a series called Pressure. A lot of times we are so misdirected in the areas. My success is not predicted. No, on another person. Nope, you can't. You can't. That's why when people tell me, well, we were supposed to walk together and we never did. What they got to do with you? And they'll look at me and say, what? I said, walk by yourself. And they say, I don't do nothing by myself. So this is what I tell them next. I say, once a week, you have to go outside by yourself somewhere. They'll be like, why? Because you don't know how to be in your own skin by yourself, baby, and that's not good. So we first got to get that. We got to get over that barrier. You want to lose weight and you don't even know how to be in your own skin. Listen to that. I need you to hear me. You can't be by yourself, but you want to take on one of the most challenging tasks of your life because weight loss and wellness is forever. So I'll ask again. No, I won't ask again. Pressure. So I have this theory about pressure that there's pressure applied to the system. Who's the system, you may say? You are the system. So what happens? Pressure builds on the system. And when pressure builds on the system must respond. If the system doesn't respond, the pressure can eventually overcome the system, causing it to combust. But if the system is receiving pressure and I'm choosing to relieve the pressure a little bit at a time, they said give it a little bit and God would give it a. But if I'm giving the pressure a little release, I'm releasing it little by little. And every time I release the pressure, because I'm just not releasing, I gotta let some God in. Whoa, wait a minute now. Every time I release pressure from my system, me, and let more God in me, then the healing begins to, oh man. We were live one day and I said, have y'all ever thought about the fact all of us is saying I need somebody to love me, take care of me, and treat me right? But you ain't never been treated right. You don't even know what it looks like. When you gonna sit down and learn that? Some of us want to be talked to nicely, but we talk to other people crazy. Some of us want to hold people to high standards, but our standards are low. And this next thing, it just fell in my spirit to all of us women who are plus size out here. And you get your rocks off by making fun of other plus size women that are bigger than you. You think that's a good thing to do? I need you to go pray about that. That's an affliction, and you can't get free from your weight because you're condemning other people with the same affliction. Remember that stone, that part of the Bible where it says something about something's throwing a stone at somebody or something like that. It says don't throw them. My mama told me not to throw rocks, so I'm just giving my mama advice. You probably got that from the Bible too. You got to stop doing that. I was going somewhere, don't matter where, and I happened to be waiting in line, and there were two young ladies, and they were both, wealthy women, but they were making fun of the woman that was bigger than them, and they made the comment to the nature of, at least I ain't that big. You don't know what that person done been through. You don't know. You don't know if she just finished 10 rounds of chemo and that's from the medicine. You don't know. That's why I keep saying take the color. Take the color from all of us. Cut the lights off. Make it black, God. Make it dark. You ain't gonna got no choice but to accept people because you can't see. Because everything we do is about these. Some of y'all won't even trust yourself to even get on a real weight loss and wellness journey. You can just keep jumping from diet fad or oil of oregano, from oil of oregano to diet fad to apple cider vinegar to those things do work though, y'all. Don't sleep on them. They should be used as like plateau breakers. They shouldn't be used as long-term weight loss tactics because they do wear down and thin the stomach lining, okay? But they do work. So those are things like if you're stuck on a plateau, nothing's wrong with doing like a 7 day of the apple cider vinegar. But over time, the apple cider vinegar, because it can't distinguish between good flora in your stomach and bad, it begins to rip away the good stuff and the bad. And that causes an issue with your digestive and your nourishment later on. Okay. Remember, the same place you put in the vinegar is the same place you put the food. So if I begin to eat away at your stomach lining, I mean the very thing your stomach needs to break me down, I'm the food, and ingest me is being damaged in the process. Don't sacrifice yourself and things that cannot be reversed for a smaller waistline when you can pull back and take your time and get that weight off. You still use your systems. You still use your injection. You still use your surgery. That's not what I'm saying. Some of y'all can't hear well. That's why y'all walking around struggling and needing help and been following me for years. And everybody in my program then uses the surgery, have injection. I don't care about that. That's not the issue here. The issue is that people have a mental connection to food and they need help to break the behavior. That's the issue. That's the issue for 90% of us. I don't care that they create methods. Let's find a way to be healthy and use them. What you gonna say? How can somebody gonna sit around and judge you because you feel like you need something more than somebody else? Huh? That's like judging a person because they like Nikes over Adidas. How? When they supposed to be able to build our preference. Hey, yeah, we not doing that over here. So if that's the energy, you come, go on and walk across the street because you staying here long enough. You gonna hear my girls come in here and check in with their medicines. You gonna hear them come in and check in with post-surgery reports. You gonna hear them come in and be on natural journeys. You gonna have all walks of life in my community. You gonna hear some of the women tell you don't even need to lose weight. They came because they know something's going on upstairs. Because it ain't that type of party. It's not about what you're doing versus what I'm doing. It's what can we do together to help both of us come up out of this darkness. So we don't feel bound down. So we're not going back and forth for the rest of our life. Who wants to be 90 years old trying to watch their weight? Honey, I want to be like some of these 90-year-olds I'm seeing on TikTok looking better than 50. Thank you so much, Shug. Looking better than 50. That's where I'm trying to be. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be the one on the cane in the wheelchair. No, baby. I'm trying to be up. When they ring the alarm, baby, I want to get myself out the building. Yeah. I want to get myself out the building, baby. I spent my years in my 30s with people rolling me around in wheelchairs and rolling around in the bed. The last thing I want to do is spend the last of my years with people rolling me around in a wheelchair and rolling around in the bed. No, baby, you better get a better goal. You better look at what you're doing and how you live and how you being. And I'm not just talking about your weight. I'm talking about the way we live. Because listen, when you sit back and have that TIA, ain't nobody gonna be at the hospital to visit you. And now they so common, they gonna send you home the same day. Okay, it was a little dramatic, maybe 24 hours. But I have known people who was in the hospital one day after a stroke. Right? This is why we take care of ourselves. So those indicators, they can be contraindicators all they want, but if we do everything we're supposed to do, we can heal the body. The body has healing capabilities. What happens is we give up on the body. Now, I ain't saying the body ain't never gave up on us, but we do rush to give up on the body. We rush to give up on the body. We do. We do. Okay? So let's slow down. Let's pull back. Let's make it happen. Are we ready? Hi, Fudjo. Thank you guys so much for tapping in. Any questions for Coach tonight? I'm so glad we made it to October. I haven't had my nails done since August the 5th. So every kind of fall, I try not to get my nails and my feet done, which I did good. And I can finally I still said I was gonna go a couple more weeks. So let me just see. I was gonna go to the end of our fast. So I think it's this weekend or next week. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna try, but I have been. I can type faster. So I must admit that I am enjoying. I have my nails on because I type faster. But any other questions for Coach? We're at our 45-minute mark. I'm gonna hop off. Well, thank you guys so much for tapping in. Thank you guys so much for the gifts and the loves and the like tonight. I appreciate you. Y'all know we'll be right back here tomorrow. If you haven't signed up for the 100 and 100, don't worry. There's still time. Simply go to the video I posted yesterday. It's going to have the link right there in the post. Just click on it and get signed up, and then you'll get an email or a text right away telling you what to do next. And it guides you through every single step. And on the back end, I'm kind of watching you do everything. Me and my team can actually see you moving around, and it even tells you how to get logged into your portal. Okay, so the challenge officially kicks off. Is day 0 is today and tomorrow. Okay, and then you have the between the 1st and the 5th to get everything turned in, and you can sign up until the 3rd of October. So you have until the 3rd of October. That is the last and final day, because we really want to make sure that we give all the women an opportunity to get started and join us. So 100 and 100 challenge, 100 days where I'm helping 100 women drop 10 plus pounds or more to collectively release 1,000 pounds total. Woo, 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 woo. Signed in, Mocha said. Oh, I done hit my toe. Um, to lose 1,000 pounds collectively. And if we could do that, it would be setting a record, because it would be women from all over the country, right? So not just in one state, but with a group of women all over the country. So I hope last year we lost a total of about 575 pounds according to the post, and there was 60 of us. Yeah, it was 60 of us. It was about 575 pounds, the post said. Yeah. We're signing Tuesday. Okay, bet. Not the toe, baby. And the baby one that's got a little bunion on it. So it's throbbing. I'm gonna prop it up because it looked like it should be on a cartoon Thursday. Okay, baby. Okay, baby. Okay, I told me and my team talks about it. So because people let me know that they need a little time, I told them, okay, listen, what we'll do is make sure we're getting people where they need to be. Yep, yep. So as soon as you click that link, it adds you right away. So yes, I did not close the link off. It was supposed to officially cut off tomorrow. It's not going to cut off. It will be open for you. I'm keeping it open, okay, all the way until the 5th, as promised. And then by the 5th, you'll have a chance. So if you're going to participate, go ahead and take your before photos, get your weight and your measurements ready, so that when on the day you need to your link, the day you can go, pay. After you pay, you can go ahead and submit your link, your photos and stuff. Okay. Sounds good. All right. Well, with that being said, y'all have a great night. We made it to Tuesday. We bless God for Tuesday, and we ask God that He sends Sydney them tomorrow. Okay, baby. We bless God, and we ask Him to watch over us, watch over our families and our friends, that no harm comes our way. And by the grace of God, may you all sleep well. May God abundantly bless each and every one. You have a great night. I'm out.